In today's video, we're going to review the ECOVACS Deebot N79S. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to Tech with Brett, where I help tech work for you. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the ECOVACS Deebot N79S. Now, there previously was an N79 model. This is the upgraded version, and this will allow for more suction. It has a max suction power option. There are two other modes that you can use, and this does have Amazon Alexa compatibility as well as Google Home, which I'm really excited about. So first, let's talk about some of the features that this has. So this is a vacuum as well as a hardwood floor sweeper. Since this is the very first robot vacuum to the channel, let's talk about why this would be an important device to have in your home. So we have a bunch of kids here, 3 kids, there's a mess every night. Sometimes we just don't have the time to pull out the vacuum and clean up every single day. At the end of the night, our floors in the kitchen are pretty messy, graham cracker crumbs everywhere. So with this, you can automatically set timers, have it go off every night, clean up the place, and then it will automatically dock itself at the charger, recharge, and it would be ready for the next night. With one charge, it can pretty much clean a very large area, and once it is low on battery, it will automatically dock itself to the charging dock, which is pretty awesome. You can also use the remote that it comes with to quickly turn it on, navigate manually, so you could actually use the arrows on here or the arrows in the app to go exactly where you want it to go, and you could have it spot clean. Yes, I could pull out my vacuum, I could pull out the broom, but sometimes we just don't have the time, so having it done automatically is very handy to have. Also, maybe there is somebody that's in an assisted living area or they're just not able to pull out the vacuum. This is a perfect device that daily it can clean up. It's very quick, very simple to use, and it's really easy to pull out the little pan here where you can actually just remove the dust. So you probably want to remove this daily or depending on how often you're having it vacuum. There is also a filter built in here, so it keeps the air clean, and you can buy some replacement filters on there. So let's check out what is inside the box and get this set up. Inside the box, it comes with the user manual and instructions. Here is the Deebot N79S. Here is the remote that will allow you to control everything that the Deebot can do. Here is the charging dock. One cool thing is that once the vacuum is running low, it will automatically dock itself. And then here we have the 2 side brushes. I do wish it came with a few more of these, but you can get them separately. And then here you have a little cleaning tool. It's nice to cut the hair off the actual brush. On the vacuum, it's pretty simple. Here at the top, you do have an auto button that will allow you to instantly start the vacuum. And then over here, you do have the power on and off. So if my kid's trying to get it, I want to flip that off. And then here you have the tray. So this is where all the dust will go, and it does have a filter built in here. So you would wash this out every so often, and pretty much you want to change this out every single time the vacuum works, and you can get separate filters. So in case this one is getting pretty clogged up, you would definitely need to get another one to keep it working well. Down here on the bottom, this is where we will install the side brushes. And then this is where you can actually check out the main brush. And when you want to clean it, you will pop this off and you would be able to change out the main brush and then wipe off any dirt that it has, dust collected. And as far as I saw, lots of hair is collected here. I definitely will need to remember to clean out the vacuum just about once a day. It's only a little difficult to get back in, but don't worry, I got it. And now we are ready to charge this and rock and roll. When placing the charger, make sure there is 1 meter of space on the left or the right and in front of it so that the Deebot is able to find the charging dock and able to automatically redock and start charging. It does take about 4 hours to charge each time, but let's go ahead and get this set up through the application. You just need to download the ECOVACS app, and you can get this on the Play Store or through iOS. Once your account is there, you will need to select your Deebot. Now, I do want to mention that you should be on the 2.4 gigahertz network to be able to connect to the robot. It is not supported for 5 gigahertz. You will then type in your Wi-Fi password, and then you will actually pick up the remote and press the Wi-Fi button on it to connect to the vacuum, which I found pretty handy to have. And now the N79S is connected. Here we can see that it is online. You will need to be on your network to be able to control it through the application. Now let's go ahead and set this up through our voice assistant. With the Google Home, it's pretty easy. Just go into the home control settings of the Google Home app, and then you will need to sign back into the account you created and select your Deebot device, and then it will link up and you're ready to go. For your Amazon Echo, you will need to go into the skills of the Amazon Alexa app, search for ECOVACS Deebot, enable the skill, sign in, select your Deebot, and then you're able to control it by voice. Now with the Google Home, you would just need to say start vacuuming, charge the vacuum, is the vacuum running, send the vacuum home. And with Amazon Alexa, many times you would need to say ask Deebot to charge or ask Deebot to start cleaning. And some of those commands, you can see those right here. Okay, Google. Ask Deebot to start cleaning.
Okay, starting the Deebot.
Alexa, ask Deebot to stop cleaning.
Okay, your Deebot has stopped.
Ask Deebot to start charging.
Okay, now your Deebot is charging.
Once the Deebot is ready to charge or you ask it to charge, it takes a minute to find the dock, but then it slowly creeps over and it's able to sit right on the dock with no problems. Here in the app, you can manually control the Deebot so you can have it move forward, left, right, or even go in reverse. Down here on the bottom, you do have an auto mode. Here you have an edge mode where it will find the edge and then it will do the perimeter of the room. The next option is spot clean. So when you select spot, it will then start doing a circular motion for about a 5 to 6 foot radius and an area so it can get every little crumb within that area. It goes out quite a bit and then it comes back in and then it stops, and you would have to start auto mode or another mode again. And then next we have the single room. So here it is just going to stay in one room instead of continuing to wander through multiple rooms. And then the last option here is you can recharge. So as soon as you select this, it will find the charger and it will go back and charge. Now let's take a look at the remote. So here you have just about everything that you can do in the application right here on the remote. You could sit this on top of the charging dock as well, so you can always remember where it is. So right here you do have a schedule option. So all you need to do is press the little bell notification, just like you should whenever you subscribe. And then you would select the time that you want it to go off, and then it will start the vacuum at that time. So the last option that you have on the vacuum is within the application. So up here in the menu, you can select vacuum power. Right now it's set to standard, but we can switch to max. And so it's going to do a little more power when it's going around during the duration of that clean. And so maybe you have a really dirty area, or maybe you just want a little more dust to come out. You can set max power. It does get a little bit more loud with max power, but I'm really happy that that option is there if you're looking for some extra cleaning to be done. Now this vacuum does have an air filtration system which collects particles before it sends them back out into the air when it is cleaning, but it's not a suitable substitute for a full filtration system. Now with the noise level, it is at a 67 decibel range and can reach up to 70 decibels when it is in max mode. I let the vacuum run for a few hours, and here is the final product in this room. You can see all of the lines. Looks really nice, and I don't see hardly any crumbs on the floor. There were one or two, but my carpet is pretty long in this room, so that definitely was the issue. And there you could see that the vacuum was docked as well, so really great. Now let's check out how much dust it was able to collect. So here you can easily just pry open the little dust collector right here, and we can see what is inside. So we did do some cleaning earlier in the day, and so it didn't have a ton that it could pick up, but check out all of that dust. It's pretty compact in there, and yeah, really nice to be able to get that off of the ground and into the garbage. All right, now we're gonna try out a different room with a few more obstacles. So here there's a little rug. It had no problem getting over the rug, cleaned the rug, and getting back off of it. And then here over the lip, sometimes it did stop and go back the other way, but it can go back over the little change between the laminate and the carpet floor. And then one other cool thing that this vacuum does is it's not going to go over the edge. So I was worried right there. As soon as it went to the edge, I thought it was gonna fly right over, but it has a sensor that it will stop it. You may wanna check in your room before you let it just fly off the edge to make sure that it will actually work. But I had no issues with it going over, and it stopped every time just like that. One thing that I really like about this vacuum is the amount of sensors that it has on the front, so it's able to see different objects before it actually runs into them. Now when I use my phone camera, you can actually see all of the little infrared sensors on the front, and there are plenty. Now you will notice that when the vacuum is driving around, it gets pretty dusty. Not an issue, just something that I wanted to point out. Now here is a quick time lapse of the robot going around the room. You can see that it's able to get pretty much every single part of the room. It goes around the edge and then goes through the middle. And one really cool part about how thin this vacuum is it was able to vacuum right under my couch, something that we would never vacuum before. I'm not going to move this couch around every time I want to vacuum, but it got under there. It picked up all kinds of Christmas tree filings and things that we haven't been able to get for years.
5 minutes later.
Now here is a full time lapse of what the spot setting looks like. All right, just finished vacuuming this full room on normal power. Let's see how it did. Looks pretty good, really compact there. All kinds of Christmas tree filings from underneath the couch. Did a really good job of picking up everything in this room. So you may be asking, what can't this vacuum do? Well, it cannot go over big bumps or carpet with long hair. So here, this rug's a little bit higher. It struggled to go over it and conquer that. And I did have it get stuck a few times actually trying to go up that rug. So if you do have anything that's more than a ½ inch thick, you might have some issues there. All right, looks like it wants to try one more time. Let's give it a cheer. You can do it. And that's when it got stuck. So it finally made it over. Maybe it was a little too heavy with my camera on top, but I did experience the same thing without the camera on there. But hey, you could just set it on top of the carpet and it would clean it, and then you would be done. Here it is one more time without my camera on top. It was able to go over it, but then again, it got stuck trying to go down, and then it just stayed there. So yeah, no go on the big rugs. And the last test is, how does this do in picking up crumbs on a hardwood floor or a laminate surface? So here, like I said, tons of graham crackers every day. So let's lay these out and see how it does. Ask Deebot to start cleaning.
Okay, now your Deebot is clean.
So at first, the bristles pretty much just push it all around, kind of spread everything out. But then over time, it was able to pick up just about everything. I did try the spot cleaning as well to see how it would do. Now, if you do have tons of crumbs in one area, it's just gonna throw everything away, and then it would have to kind of go back on another auto pass to be able to pick everything up. But after I let it run its cycle through this room, it picked it all up, no problem. For the most part, you're not gonna have tons of crumbs in one area like this, but now you know how it works. Here is one last time lapse of it zipping around the room and collecting all the last particles Worked well on the hardwood surface, really no issues. And then let's see how it did in the last cleanup. Here I was testing to see if it could pick up little wrappers, and it didn't have a problem with this one. Other ones though, they just kind of get stuck underneath, and so you would need to be able to manually throw them away. If you are looking for a game to play, you can also just use the remote and go and track down all of the particles and pick them up off the floor as well. Pretty fun. All right, now let's see how it did in picking everything up. So there you can see all of the graham crackers. It was able to actually find a lot of other dust around, and there you can see the little wrapper. Now, one very important part of the cleanup process is here in the roller. So there is a lot of hair, warning, but it was able to pick up all that, which is all over our house. So really nice that it was able to do that. And then you can use this little tool to remove any of the dust and things that has been collected on the roller. And then here you can actually use this part of the tool to quickly cut off the hair that is wrapped around. So instead of having to try and get some other scissors or whatever, right there, the tool can quickly cut it off, which I found very handy to have. I do want to give a shout out to ECOVACS for sending me this device so that I could test it out for you guys. Now, my final thoughts on the Deebot vacuum. So I'm really impressed with what this can do. It's pretty quiet. I wasn't too concerned about the loudness of it, but if it does come right up to your room, it does get a little bit creepy if it's hitting or coming close to your door in the middle of the night. But if you set up a little barrier, it wouldn't have any problem stopping and turning around and going the other way. Now, the biggest problem with this device is it does have a hard problem with long carpet threads. So I had this rug that I was using it on, and it just could not go up and down very easily. Also with that, it was getting stuck when it tried to go up and down. It was about an inch lip that it had to go over, and it did have an issue with that. But when I had a smaller rug, it had no issues going over the rug and coming back off. It worked flawless, and it was able to clean the rug and then go back onto the floor. Now, I really like that it has those sensors, so if you have a ledge or stairs, it's not going to fall off the stairs. It did a really good job there. And I like how it is so thin that it was actually able to go underneath one of my couches very easily. This does a great job in staying along the edges, and I love the patterns that it created after it had finished its auto cycle. Definitely everything was picked up, and it worked really well. Now, with this being one of my very first robot vacuums, I am very impressed with what it can do. Now, I know there are a bunch of different options out there where it can have like a tracking system where it will map your room and then it will automatically go into every little portion, so it cleans it maybe a little more efficient. But this, with having it be auto, it just kind of randomly goes through until it's clean or until the battery is about to go out and goes and charge. But I had no issues with it missing areas and leaving a bunch of dirt in one area. And I was really impressed with how much it was actually able to suck up. There's plenty of dust inside, lots of crumbs, things that we couldn't get under the couch. It was able to get those. Now, I am currently testing another robot vacuum very similar to this. One of its benefits is it is able to change out the little tray here, and you would be able to mop the floor, where here, I wish that had that functionality. Even though it doesn't, it's still a great vacuum. But one big thing I did notice between that one and this one is able to stop before it actually runs into items. So instead of it hitting an item and again and turning, it actually is able to stop before it runs into a wall or a chair or something that's there, and it can move around. So this was much quieter than ones that I've seen in the past, where the other one would slam into something and then it would adjust, slam again, and keep turning. But this did not do that, which I was very happy to see. Now, this definitely is a product I can recommend. It normally costs about $299, but right now it's available at $179, and that is a price that would be worth getting it. I think any more may not have as many features as I would like it to have. Now, one other recommendation I do have about this vacuum is I wish it came with a little bit more accessories in the package. So these little sweepers and the filters do cost extra if you want to get more. In the application, it's really cool that it has the lifetime of them and how long they're going to last, but I'll leave a link to some extras that you can get in the description below, just so that you have them on hand in case anything happens. I've only used these for a few days and they're not breaking or anything, but you can tell that they definitely will wear out over time depending on the floors that you have. And that's about it for the review of the Deebot N79S vacuum. If you guys have any further questions about this device, let me know in the comments below. And if this is your first time here, I would love to have you subscribe so that you can be notified of my new and upcoming videos. Also, check out the playlist over here on the side that's going to show you a bunch of other smart home products. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.